Hello, in this video, I will dig a little bit deeper into the prepare phase of our 3P routine. The prepare phase is really the meat and potatoes of this class. It's where you're going to encounter all the material on an initial basis. You're going to walk through tutorial videos, you're going to take notes, you're going to go through worked examples, definitions, explanations. A lot of the videos are created by myself or some other instructors that I very, very much value their work as well. So we have a collaboration of videos for you to learn all the content of intermediate algebra. All right, let's talk about what this prepare phase entails. So to learn the new material for each section of each chapter, you're going to engage with the content in Canvas, and the content is going to be delivered through Google Slide presentations. Each Google slideshow has worked examples, written explanations, tutorial videos, etc. And you're going to make notes as you work through the lessons. Notice I don't say take notes. You make them. You make them in your own handwriting. You put your own hints down. You write your own notes that are going to help you remember how to do the material a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 8 weeks later. So everybody's notes will look different. By actively engaging with the content, you're laying the foundation you need for a full understanding. So every time you go into one of the chapter modules in Canvas, you'll notice each section starts with a prepare page. Prepare 5.1, prepare 5.2, prepare 5.3. That's where you'll access the Google Slides. All right, now when you open up those prepare pages, you'll be taken to the Google Slide. So you can start by taking notes on one of the templates I've provided if you're not ready to take notes on your own blank notebook paper yet. Some students want a little bit more structure, or at least at first in the beginning of the class, and then after a while they're ready to ditch the template and they want to kind of create their own notes in their own notebook. It's totally up to you. So you can use a template to make notes for your future forgetful self. That's what I will call you. We all have a future forgetful self. Sometimes tomorrow we forget something we learned today. Sometimes it's a week from now. Sometimes it's 2 weeks from now. But whatever it is, you want to have these meaningful notes that you can look back on and refresh your memory because it's written in your own words. You wrote your own hints down. You used your own highlighter, whatever it was to help spark your memory if you forget how to do something later on. Most of the slides are animated, so you'll use the arrows at the bottom to progress from slide to slide and also to see the animations within each slide itself. You want to write your own explanation of what something means, make connections to something you already know, formulate your own questions so you can ask them during a virtual study session, or so you can seek out your own answer, maybe using the online textbook, or, like I said, during a virtual study session, you can find the answers, something that's just going to help you down the road and going to be useful in the future. All right, so you want to take notes as you actively engage with the content presented in the slideshow. So here's an example of one of those templates. There's some bubbles up here for you to write down key points so you don't forget them, and you can always refer back to them as kind of like the main ideas. There's space for you to do some worked examples. Write down any special hints. Every student's notes can look different because there's certain things you want to remember, and maybe your classmate, something else resonated with them and they want to write down something different. Write down any questions you want to remember to ask. If this was a face-to-face class, you'd bring your notes to class, or any questions that you want to ask if you meet with me during a virtual study session or if you meet with a tutor. Use your notes as a resource when you're working on your assignments or when you're studying for your exams. So make them useful. If they're useful notes, they'll help you throughout the course and you won't have to worry about forgetting something that you've learned. I'm going to show you some samples of notes. This will help you get in a routine for making your own notes. First of all, you want to actively engage with the content in the slideshows, not just passive. So maybe seek out an extra example or try an example more than once if you don't understand it the first time. Write your own explanation instead of copying something word for word. Make connections to something you already know, or look for answers to your own questions, like I said. So you want to dig a little bit deeper and make sure that you truly understand the content. And then this is what your notes will look like. They'll be very detailed. You'll want to look back on them as a reference. You'll have shown all your steps. You'll make your own annotations so you can look back and remember special hints. Here's just some more examples. There's spaces for you to write down all the steps for a worked example, everything that your future forgetful self might need. You might not need to fill in every single blank spot, but there's plenty there if you need all the space. And then at the end, definitely circle how confident you are with that section of material. If you're still developing your confidence, that's okay. It just means you're going to practice more until you really understand it, until you're very confident. That just means you might want to reach out to a tutor or come into campus for tutoring or meet with me during the virtual student hours. There's all kinds of things you can do to build your confidence. You can also use the textbook for extra examples. If you go through the whole slideshow and you're like, I wish I just had some more practice problems, the full textbook e-text is available and embedded in each slideshow. When you go to the textbook, you can highlight your own stuff to look back on in the future. You can search for a keyword or some kind of vocabulary if you want the textbook to find it for you, or you can search the table of contents. Okay, so the prepare notes are the first step in our 3P routine. Once you complete the prepare notes, good news, you're ready to preview and you're ready for practice. I encourage you, after you've completed the prepare notes, after you've completed the preview assignment, and after you've completed the practice assignment, if you still have any questions, definitely make sure you reach out to me, meet with a tutor, or reach out to me along the way as you're working on these assignments. For the preview and practice steps, for a little bit more guidance on those, you will go into our course in Canvas in the Getting Started module, the page called What to Expect in MAT121 for the 3P system. We just dived into the prepare to learn phase. However, there is a summary of the preview phase, which is the brief 6-question assignment that goes along with every section. And then the practice phase, where you can dig a lot deeper depending on your level of understanding. Some of you might only need to do a few practice problems and then you'll feel confident before moving on. Certain sections, some of you might want to do extra practice problems. Those practice assignments are there for you to use at your own discretion to how much practice you want before you turn in the check your understanding assignments. I encourage you to have a notebook to take a record of all your work and show your work for each problem, and you can view all this at the page called What to Expect in MAT121, the 3P system. I really hope you grasp onto this routine because it really will help you organize your time, structure your notebook, keep you organized for the next 8 weeks. And then by the end of the 8 weeks, you're going to be a whiz in intermediate algebra. And maybe I'll have you in college algebra in the fall. Have a wonderful day.